You know the feeling, right? You look around a room and just wonder, how did it get from tidy to, well, to total chaos? Cleaning can seriously feel like this battle you can never quite win. But what if I told you there's a method to the madness, an art and a science to it all? Today, we're going to break it all down, from the psychology behind clutter to a strategy that actually works, so you can finally feel like you're in control. Let's jump in. This phrase, it's like the universal code for "we have a problem." You can just feel that little bit of panic, that sinking feeling when you look around and realize, yep, the clutter has officially taken over. It's that moment when you know things have gotten a little out of hand. And honestly, it's usually the starting gun for a frantic cleaning spree. And then, just to make things interesting, the stakes get higher. You get that text. Important guests are on their way. Suddenly, it's not just about your own sanity anymore. It's a full-on race against the clock. So the big question is, faced with this mountain of mess, where on earth do you even begin? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out. Okay, first things first. Before you can win the war, you have to know your enemy. And to do that, we need to speak the language of clean. It might sound kind of basic, but trust me, getting our words straight is the very first step to building a solid plan of attack. So let's define our terms. First up, the problem itself. Such a mess. This is ground zero. It's more than just a little untidy. It's that state of total disorder. You know, things are everywhere, it's disorganized, it's cluttered. This is basically the before picture in our big transformation. Next, we've got chores. Now, these are your frontline soldiers in the fight against mess. We're talking about the routine stuff that keeps the chaos from taking over completely. Taking out the garbage, doing the laundry, washing the dishes. Think of chores as the essential maintenance for your home. To tidy up. This is our first real move. This is the action of bringing back order, of putting everything back where it belongs. It's amazing how this one simple act can make a space feel so much calmer and more manageable, almost instantly. And here it is, the ultimate goal, spotless. This is the dream, right? That next level clean where everything is just gleaming. No dust, no marks, no spots, just absolute perfection. This is the after picture we are all aiming for. All right, so we've got the lingo down, but let's zoom out for a second and ask a bigger question. Why does any of this even matter? I mean, really, because having a clean home is about so much more than just impressing your guests. It has a huge impact on our lives. And I mean a huge impact. First, let's talk health. A clean space means less dust, fewer germs, and fewer allergens floating around. Simple as that. But get this. For our mental well-being, a cluttered space can actually raise our cortisol levels. That's our main stress hormone. So a clean space literally helps you relax. Then there's organization, which just saves you so much time. No more 10-minute searches for your keys. And let's not forget safety. Fewer things to trip over, and good old hospitality. When you think about it like that, cleaning isn't just a chore. It's like an investment in a better, healthier you. Okay, so we get the what and we get the why. Now it's time for the how. Any overwhelming task gets a whole lot easier when you have a plan. So this 7-step strategy is your personal roadmap from messy to spotless. So here's the game plan. Step 1, make a plan. Don't just dive in. Know what you're going to tackle. 2, gather your tools. Get everything you need in one place before you start. It saves so much time. 3, and this is a big one, clean one room at a time. It keeps you from feeling completely overwhelmed. 4, here's a pro tip. Always work from top to bottom. Why? Gravity. Dust falls down, so you clean the floors last. Makes sense, right? Step 5, declutter as you go. Be ruthless. 6, to keep it up, set a schedule. And finally, step 7, maybe the most important, involve everyone. A clean home is a team sport, not a solo mission. Now for a really fun part, how we actually talk about all this stuff. Because let's be honest, a huge part of household chores is communication. You know, figuring out who does what, maybe even trying to get out of a task or two. So let's look at a few little language tweaks that can make a world of difference. Check this out. It's so subtle. Saying, "I'm busy" can come across as a little blunt, a little dismissive. But if you say, "I'm in the middle of something," it implies that you're focused right now, but you might be free in a bit. It just sounds softer, and it's a much more common way to say you're occupied. Oh, this is a classic. I'll be there in a second. We all know it doesn't literally mean 1 second, right? But it just feels so much more immediate, more responsive than saying, "I'll be there soon." It's a tiny change, but it really makes your speech sound more natural and fluent. This one is a fantastic tip for teamwork at home. Asking, can you, is a direct question, a request. But if you phrase it as, why don't you? You're turning it into a suggestion. It feels way more collaborative and a lot less like you're barking orders. It's just a more polite way to get things done together. All this talk about teamwork and how we communicate brings us to a really interesting modern question about cleaning. Who is actually doing all this work? Because let's face it, the way we handle chores at home has been changing a lot. For the longest time, the huge burden of keeping a house clean often fell on just one person. But thankfully, we're in the middle of a pretty big cultural shift. In a lot of modern homes, cleaning isn't a solo gig anymore. It's being seen for what it is, a shared responsibility, a true partnership in making a home feel like, well, home. And that brings me to my last question, something for you to think about. In your home, is cleaning a one-person show or is it a team effort? The answer to that can tell you a lot, because at the end of the day, creating a clean, happy home isn't just about scrubbing floors. It's about how we work together to build a space that we all love to live in. Thanks for tuning in.